it's Nina Carmichael, and we made these videos because you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you get the push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, and learn the secret getting everything you want out of life. Enjoy! Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Think big, act small.
The secret to getting everything that you want out of life is to think big and act small. Think big. Have a huge dream. Create a vision for yourself that excites you, that you want to make happen. And then act small. Don't let the big dream be so big that it becomes so scary and you never start. Find the smallest possible way to just get started. Think big, act small. Otherwise, your dreams will stay exactly that. I recently had a guy pop into my Instagram live who was a fitness coach, and he's building his success up and doing one-on-one training, fitness, and helping people get results. And he said, Evan, how do I go bigger? How do I build my brand? How do I get people to know me outside of just my pocket, my community? I said, well, you have to create content. You got to be a thought leader. You got to be an expert. I got to see you doing what you're doing. How often are you making videos? I said, well, I don't know, I'm making them once a week. Okay, great. Dude, how often do you go to the gym? How often do you work out? How often do you care about your nutrition? I said, well, every day. Like, you have to take the same approach to your business, to making content, to being a thought leader. I said, are you in shape? And at the time he's shirtless, and then he said, yeah, I'm in shape. And he pans down and you see his abs, and then back to his face, he's got this smile on his face. It's like, I love it, man. You've put that into your daily routine. You're working out and eating right as part of your daily routine. He said, yeah, but it's so hard to go off and make videos every day. What are your clients saying to you about working out and eating properly? That it's so hard. Dude, it's the same excuses. You've already figured this out in one area of your life. The problem is you're not being consistent in the other areas. That if you want to blow up and be a thought leader and get a lot of traction, attention, and views, you need to get good at the thing. You don't become great at anything doing it once a week. If you believe that you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, Michael Jordan wasn't practicing basketball once a week. You just will never get great at it. You have all of this untapped potential, all of this ability to go off and make a huge impact, but we never see it because you're doing it once a week. You just will never get good at it. You'll never get good enough at the thing if you're only doing it once a week. So he says, what do I do? Great, you put it into your routine. You already know how to do this. You just have done it for something else. All of you've already been consistent on something. Now make this next business goal part of your daily routine. It's thinking big and acting small. Most people think big and have this big vision of where they could go. It's amazing. I believe in your vision. I love you. I want to see you go off and crush that huge goal. I think you can do it. But then show me in your calendar where you take any action. Because most people are spending too much time just thinking, planning. You gotta actually get going and doing it. Daily, consistent, small action. One video for my friend who's running his gym now, one video is not gonna do anything. One video, one small act is not gonna do anything. It's the accumulation of the daily videos that are coming out, the daily content, the daily improvements. That's where you start to build momentum. The biggest thing that's missing from most of your ideas is momentum, because you're thinking big, but you're not acting small. So how do you get started? How do you build momentum? I'm gonna give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step number 1 is apply the 2% difference. The 2% difference means as soon as you get a goal in mind, most things that we wanna do, most people, what we do is we think of planning. That's step number 1. For most people, is planning. No, don't plan. Your first step after you come up with an idea is to act. Planning is important, it's just not your first step. Most people will plan their way to 100%, right? Plan to how I'm gonna accomplish my goal. And then they wake up tomorrow, they've lost the boldness, they lost the confidence, and they say, I'm not gonna do that. I can't do that. And there's no momentum, and then the dream dies on the table. The first step is momentum. The first step is action. The first step is figuring out the first 2%, that's it, 2%. Don't plan to 100%, instead act on the first 2%. Why is it so important? Because when you're feeling bold, when you're feeling confident, when you get that idea, it's flowing through you, right? You're in that energy zone. You wanna use that energy to build momentum. Using that best energy to go into planning and then you wake up tomorrow a different person, you've lost it all. Where if you use that energy into action, into momentum, then tomorrow you're gonna wake up and see, oh, I've already built some momentum. It's easier to keep the ball rolling. The hardest step is the first one. So push, build that first step when you're feeling the energy. So as soon as you get your next idea, apply the 2% difference, your first step is to act. Step number 2 is think about your big why and little why. I'm a big believer that you have a big mission, a big vision, a big thing that you're trying to accomplish, and it's inspiring. Why do you do the work that you do? Because you're trying to make the world a better place. That's what we as entrepreneurs want to do. That mission is inspiring. It's amazing. It gets you up out of bed. But sometimes it's too big. Sometimes you think, well, who am I to go off and do that? Sometimes you think, well, other people should do that who have more money and more funding and more skills and more knowledge and more resources. I can't. Who am I? I can't do that. And so on some days, the big why is actually too big. When you're trying to motivate yourself to get going and take action, the big why might be the greatest thing of all time, but sometimes it's too big. That's where you need the little why. Big why and the little why. When the big why seems too big, you use the little why. What's the little why? The little why is the small daily little comments that you get, the little pieces of feedback that you get. For me, the little why is people who read my book. I'm trying to find a copy. People who read my book. And then they message me. For people who leave comments on my YouTube channel, like you guys, who comment down below, we read them. For people who DM me on Instagram. That's the little why. It's knowing that the work that I do has an impact. Because a one-off comment doesn't mean a lot in the grand scheme of things, but I know that I hit one person. However many views this video gets, the people who comment are way less than the number of views, right? That's always the case. And sometimes the views don't make sense. I mean, the idea that I get a couple 100,000 views a day on my YouTube channel doesn't make sense. What does that even mean? I don't know. But seeing somebody comment to say, this video had a big impact on my life. Thanks to this video, I'm taking action in my business today. Like that's deep and meaningful. That's the little why. So find the little why version in your business. You may not think that you're capable of accomplishing some big thing every day, but knowing that you help one person can give you the motivation to get up and do it again tomorrow and again tomorrow and again tomorrow. Big why, little why. And step number 3 is expect to suck at the start. This is what really holds people back. You start something, you expect to be great at it, it doesn't work out, and then you quit. Why do you expect to be great at it? It's the first time you're doing it. From my buddy who called into the Instagram live show, who's shredded with his abs and is gonna make a video, his first video is gonna suck. Right? If it doesn't suck, he should have started years ago. His first video is going to suck. That's the best. And as kids, we know this. As kids, we try new things and we fail at everything. We get up, ha, 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 laugh it off and keep going. But as adults, we try something new and then we fail and then we stop and we never do it again. Then you will never learn anything new, right? You're gonna be stuck inside your box the rest of your life. Expect to suck at the beginning. It's okay, it's normal. It doesn't mean you suck as a human. It just means you don't have the skill set yet. How do you get the skill set? You practice, you get better, you learn, you study, you put in the reps. And so whatever it is that you're trying to take on, yes, you've got this big goal, big ambitions, big dreams. I think you can get there, amazing. The first start is right now, today. What are you gonna do? And in that starting, expect nothing to happen. Expect just to suck everywhere. You're gonna make your first video, it's gonna be brutal. You're gonna write the first page of your book, you're gonna be embarrassed by it. You should be embarrassed by it, it's okay. It's great. The quality is gonna suck, the results will suck. But what you wanna tie your self-worth to is the effort, that you did it, that you got started. And if you do that every day, be proud of your effort every day, I guarantee you're gonna get results.
Rule number 2, have a consistent routine.
Nobody wakes up with explosive energy, ready to go and start the day. Not Tony, not me, not you, nobody, not consistently. The difference is that successful people have a morning routine that primes them for success. Consistently, every day, so they demand the best of themselves. If you want to change your life, change your outcomes, it starts with you changing your consistent morning routine. So let me share with you a recent change to my morning routine. I just came back from Puerto Rico. I was meeting with Brendan Bouchard. He had this mastermind that I was invited to with him and Tom Bilyeu and Dean Graziosi and a bunch of super high achievers and lots of fun. And at the end, he gave us this, which is his high performance planner. And what you do here every day is you fill it out and you put, let me go to today's date. There's monthly, weekly, daily goals, right? And you fill this out. Now I haven't filled it. I don't use it as a calendar where you fill out what's happening every day. I still use Google Calendar for that, but it primes you with questions. So it says, example, person I need to lead or connect with today and how to do it well. My top 3 goals, priorities, right? My first one was make amazing YouTube videos. Hope I'm doing it. Today's message to myself. You got to fill all this stuff in. One of my favorites, where is it? If I was a high performance coach looking at my life from a high level, I would tell myself to remember that. And then you fill it up, right? And so this is what Brendan does every day. I'm applying it as a test. He said, do it for the next 30 days. Most people quit after 7. Do it for at least 30. This book, I think, takes you to 60. And I'm doing it and I'm testing it. And that's part of the process, right? The most important part right now of my morning routine is doing the thing that makes me want to soar. And so think about what makes you come alive and then put that into your morning routine. But I love trying on different hats and exploring, and Brendan does this, let me give it a shot. John Astroff does that, let me give this a shot. And then you play with it and you see, how does it make you feel? Are you ending up achieving your goals? Are you ending up being more productive? Are you ending up being happier, more energized, more fulfilled at the end of every day? And if yes, keep doing it. And if not, don't. You have to figure out what the best morning routine looks like for you. And that can come from trying on different people's hats and their schedules, but you have to have something. Everybody has something. Nobody just wakes up and then hopes that amazing things happen. Not people who are successful. A lot of people wake up like that though. A lot of people do wake up, most people wake up and hope something happens to them. Hopes they win the lottery, hopes they get the promotion, hopes some big customer calls them, right? We're just living in a land of, I hope something big happens to me, but I don't believe it's going to, as opposed to demanding excellence from yourself every day, and it begins with your morning routine. So how can you do it? I'm gonna give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step number 1 is figure out what makes you soar. So I said this is the most important part of my morning routine. What makes you come alive and soar? What makes you feel like the work that you do matters and you have to show up today? So for me, I have to think of a message every day. I think about you guys every day. I wake up, I'm here in my Toronto condo. It's hard to imagine that 300 million people have seen my videos. That number doesn't make any sense. Right? And so it's easy just to wake up and just continue to live my life, me, my dogs, my wife, and my condo, and just another okay day, right? I have to remind myself that the work that I do matters. I think of a message and then I share it, and I take out my phone and I post something to Instagram typically, right? And that sets me up. That reminds me that what I do matters, is meaningful. I need to demand excellence from myself. What is it for you? Maybe it's creating a piece of content. Maybe it's making a video. Maybe it's watching a video. Maybe this is part of your morning routine, thank you, and it helps you soar, right? Maybe it's doing a good deed. Maybe it's meditation or prayer or walking the dog or playing in the sun, like whatever it is. What makes you come alive? You have felt it before. You have felt it before. You've had moments in your life where you were bold, confident, unstoppable, powerful, where you felt like you could take on the world, right? Where you felt like your crazy ideas were possible. You felt that before. I know you have. The problem is it's not consistent. You're not consistently feeling that way. And so you need to reverse engineer yourself. Before you worry about taking on other people's routines and ideas, which are definitely helpful, reverse engineer yourself to figure out, when in your life did you feel the most bold, confident, powerful, alive, and what led to that happening? What led to that happening? And then put that into your morning routine. Demand it from yourself every day, right? So it could be reading, it could be watching video, all the things I talked about. It doesn't matter. You felt it before. Reverse engineer what that thing was and then put it into your morning routine, because if you woke up and you did the thing that made you soar, that made you feel bold, unstoppable, powerful, confident every single day, holy cow, get ready for a massive change in what your life looks like over the next year. Step number 2 is ask the high performance coach question. So again, I'm going through all of this stuff with Brendan. I'm going through all this, and my favorite question was the one I read. If I was a high performance coach, this is what you should ask every day. I like this. If I was a high performance coach looking at my life from a high level, I would tell myself to remember that. Because it's so easy, why I love this is it's so easy to look at other people's lives and say what needs to be fixed, right? You can look at your spouse, your friends, your team, your parents, your siblings, you know, your high school mates, whatever. You can look at other people and say, that needs to be fixed. You gotta go off and do this, right? You become the high performance coach for other people. And what I love about this is that you're looking at your own life today as a high performance coach. What would you tell yourself? And then they have one at the end of the day. If I was my own high performance coach, I would tell myself this statement about today. So of all the things on here, it's a great format. I like that the best. And so I would challenge you for the next 30 days to ask yourself that simple question. If you were a high performance coach looking at your life from a high level, you would tell yourself to remember that what? And then step number 3 would be, which 3 people can you model their routine? So Brendan, you know, he's got his, and I'm modeling this for at least 30 days. I've added, you know, John Astroff, a friend of the channel, been on a couple times. talks about writing down your goals every day and then touching them, right? So I'll write down some goals and then I write them every day now and I'm touching them, right? That's what he does. Great. Again, you got to see what's going to work for you. Maybe I do that for 30 days and stop. Maybe it's what I do for the rest of my life. I don't know. You won't know until you do it consistently enough. So pick 3 people who you like. Pick 3 people who you respect, who you look up to. Say, this is the kind of person that I want to learn from. And then go investigate how they start their day. And then try on some of it, right? You might love The Rock and he works out for 4 hours a day. You may not be able to do that, but you could work out for an hour a day, right? Because maybe you're doing nothing every day. So it's a good starting point. Like, just get to the gym and start working out every day, right? So pick 3 people who you love, look up to, respect, admire, and then go research what are their morning routines and how can you apply one thing from each of them to see if it works for you.
Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, the science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action for you to shift that habit forward. So I've designed a special free program to help you get more self-belief for every day. For 254 days, I will send you an email to an unlisted video that, if you watch it, will shift your confidence forward. The links to join for free are in the description below.
And so I always wanted to work on projects that have the ability to have a massive impact. That's what I strive for every single day. And so self-publishing wasn't the route that I...
Find whatever the smallest first step is, and then the smallest next step is, and continue to build those steps. And when you look back, you'll have realized that you made some pretty significant progress.
Don't go to them asking for help first. Go to them with value first so that they're stumbling all over themselves to try to find a way to help you out too. Bring value first.
Rule number 3, switch your mindset.
If you're struggling with something that you hate right now, there are 2 ways through. There's a 2-step formula that, if you can follow, will help you out of any painful, negative, frustrating situation that you're going through right now, where most people are going to get stuck in complaining. You're going to sit there and complain about what's happened to you and how bad your life is, and you're going to be blaming other people. This is what most people do. They're stuck blaming everybody else, complaining about their situation. Even if it's not your fault, that's fine. But if you want to get out of the situation, there's a 2-step formula that I want you to apply, because you start doing this, it will change your entire life. Step number 1 is to change how you see the situation. Change your mindset, change your approach, tweak it in your brain. The one that I use the most is, it's the best. It's the best. This thing that negative that happened to me right now, it's the best. It's my chance to prove to myself and the world what I'm capable of. You did not ask for this painful situation you're going through right now. You did not ask for this health issue, for this work issue, for this environmental issue. You didn't ask for this thing to happen to you. This is where we struggle, because you didn't cause this. It's probably not your fault, right? Maybe it is your fault, but it's probably not your fault, this thing that's happened. There's a lot that happened to make this thing happen for you right now. And so it's so easy to get stuck in the land of negativity. Why me? Woe is me. Why did this happen? As opposed to flipping to say, it's the best. This thing that's happening to me right now, it's the best. When I broke my neck, I was on my tour, I broke my neck. What I said was, it's the best. It's the best. Is it actually good to break my neck? Probably not, but it's my chance to show myself what I'm capable of. I remember being woken up, so I passed out. I had a concussion. I fell on the floor. I woke up, like I fainted. I woke up, and I remember the hospital had sent their ambulance, and also fire people showed up. And my circulation was getting shut off. I couldn't feel my arms. I couldn't feel my legs. They're worried that I'm having a heart attack. And I remember going through this in my head as I'm explaining what's going on. They asked me if I was okay, and I said, I feel okay. But then I can't feel my arm. I can't feel my right arm. I can't feel my legs. I can't feel... And most people would be kind of freaking out at this point. Like, oh my God, I can't feel my arm. I can't feel my legs. And I'm calmly explaining that, oh, I can't feel my left hand right now. I can't feel my right hand right now. And just walking them through what's going on. And in my head, this is why it's so important. Whether this is actually true or not, in my head, what I'm telling myself is, this is the best. I am the greatest patient of all time. As people are normally freaking out in this moment, I'm calm. I'm explaining what's going on. I'm amazing, right? And I would never say that stuff out loud, but that's what the voice is inside my head, that this is the best. This is me. I'm amazing. Let's go. Let's solve this problem. And what it does is, when you're in that negative situation, it switches you to a place of possibility. If you are stuck in complaining and why everything is so bad and why is this happening to me, all you're doing is perpetuating the negative situation. You're not actually solving anything. When you can flip it to say, this is the best. This is my chance to learn, to grow, to improve, to solve this, to show myself what I'm capable of. What it does is it puts you in a place of resourcefulness. It takes you from a place of helplessness into one of resourcefulness that then allows you to go off and solve the problem. That immediate thing that nobody asked for, that you would never wish upon your worst enemy, that's happened to you right now, it gives you the tools to actually come out of it. And so switching your mindset, telling yourself that it's the best, when you've got these moments of pain and struggle and suffering where you just want to blame the world and complain and tell everybody how negative it is, you flip it. It's the best. Practice those 3 words. Maybe you're facing that situation right now. Maybe you're dealing with something you hate right now. Or something, if it's not right now, listen, I promise you something is coming. At some point, that negativity is coming for you. And so use that as inspiration. It's the best. So that's step 1. That's step 1 of how do you deal with the moment right now. It's acute. It's something that's overwhelming right now that you can't change. You can't get out of. You have to just deal with it. That's how you deal with it. I'm the best. It's the best. We're going to solve this thing. Let's go. Step 2 is more the longer term. So that was a very micro strategy of what's happening right now. The long-term macro strategy is you can't be doing the stuff that you hate. You have to find a way out. It may not be today. It may not be right now. It may not be this week, but you have to find a way out. So if you're working for a boss that you hate, long term, you can't be doing that anymore. If you're in a business that you hate, and maybe you started the business and you hate it, long term, you can't be doing that anymore. You will never win doing work that you hate. People say, well, you have to do whatever it takes, but you won't. You won't do whatever it takes if you don't like the thing. And you're going up against people, you're competing against people who love the thing. They love it. And for you, it's just a strategy. And so the key is you have to leave the things that you don't love doing and lean in on the things that you do and find a way to use the thing that you love to then bring value to other people so you can have a real business, so you can go make an impact, so you can build the life that you deserve, that your family deserves, that the people around you deserve as well. So if you don't love it, and worse, if you hate it, you have to find a way out. And that may not be today. This is where people get caught up in the struggles. Like, well, I don't like it, but I have no other plan. Okay, well, we have to start working towards it so that a year from today, you're not in the same spot. But today, you have to go show up and kick butt on the thing that is causing all of these problems for you. So I look at my YouTube channels, for example. We've done over 10,000 videos, just crossed 3 million subscribers on the main channel. Woo! Thank you guys, appreciate you. I've been doing this for 12 years, April 2009. How do I keep going? How do I keep making videos? How do we crank out 10,000 videos plus? And how have I not burnt out? How have we not taken time off? Because I love it. Because this doesn't work for me. Because I look forward to this. Because I look at my filming day, which is Tuesday when I make these videos, and I'm excited to make more content to share with you guys, to hopefully, maybe this today is the video that finally sinks in for somebody. For somebody watching this video, whether it's true or not, the message I tell myself is somebody is gonna watch this video right here today, this one, and it's gonna be the light bulb moment for them. Not everybody, but for one person, that video, this one right now, is gonna be the light bulb moment for them that gives them the big unlock. And so I have to show up. I wanna show up. I'm excited to show up. I can't wait to show up. 12 years, keep making content, and as long as I love it, I'm gonna keep doing it. And so this is why, if you're trying to do YouTube just as a strategy, you're going up against people who love the thing. So you're always gonna lose. Meanwhile, there's something that you love doing, and that's where you need to be long-term. So if you're in this struggle right now, you've got some painful thing that's happened to you right now. Maybe it's a health issue, maybe it's a relationship issue, maybe it's a business issue, but there's something that's happened to you right now. The short term, in the micro, right now, what can you do today? You tell yourself, this is the best. I'm strong enough. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to crush this thing. This is gonna get solved because you are amazing. It's the best. And then the longer term play is, okay, I'm not gonna be here 1 year from today. I can't just keep doing this. My life has to look different 1 year from today, and I'm gonna find my way through it. And often that means switching your path, switching your relationship, switching the self-talk you have for yourself, switching your morning routine, switching the business that you're running, making changes. What are the real changes you have to make to your life and your routines and your habits so that you are not stuck here 1 year from today? You follow those two paths, the micro of it's the best and I'm gonna solve this today, and then the macro of I can't keep doing this, I need to find a different way through so my life in 1 year is different. That's how you get out. That's how you stop complaining, stop blaming other people, stop getting stuck in a land of negativity that most of the world is stuck in, and you start actually building the life that you deserve.
Rule number 4, grow and improve.
Self-improvement is the answer to whatever obstacle is staring you in the face right now. The only difference between you and greatness is the willingness to grow and improve. It's not talent, it's not smarts, it's the willingness to improve yourself. The difference between you and Tony Robbins is he has spent more time constantly improving himself than most people on the planet. Here's a guy who had multiple fathers growing up, had an abusive mother who at 17 he had to run away from home so he could become a janitor and never go to college. He then decided to be a success. He read 700 books in 7 years. He studied under mentors like Jim Rohn, and today he's the founder or owner of companies with over $6 billion in annual revenue. If Tony Robbins can go from being an abused janitor with no college education to being one of the most influential people in the world, why can't you? The difference is he made the investment to constantly improve himself, and you haven't yet at that level. So I look at my channel as an example, my YouTube channel, and I've learned so much over the past number of years in confidence, in growth, in abilities, in skills, by consuming the content, because I love the top 10 series and the Mentor Me series and the Espresso series. I make them for me, and then I share them with you, and thankfully you guys like them too, and I can build a business off of it and keep pumping out more content. But it helps me. I've grown, I've learned. And one of the biggest moments that helped me realize how much I've learned is when I signed a 3-year deal with Sage. I was working with Stephen Kelly, who is the CEO, and every month we'd be on a call. We'd be doing a hangout on my YouTube channel, answering questions from people. And I was driving with my dad, and I remember him asking me, how do you get the confidence to be on a call with Stephen Kelly and be seen as his equal all the time? And he wasn't asking me to put me down. He was asking me in genuine awe of, he was so happy for me that I was playing a bigger game. And it dawned on me that he was right. The Evan of 5 years ago wouldn't have been able to do that. The Evan of 5 years ago would have felt less than. The Evan of 5 years ago would have said, there's no way I'm capable of doing that. And then when I'd signed the deal, I felt like, it's great. I love Stephen, he's amazing, but I feel like I'm hanging out with Oprah and Kanye and Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and these super successful people, and they're infiltrating my brain on a daily basis, right? A daily basis. 3 videos every single day on this channel. And so bit by bit, it pulls me up. Now I've recognized I still have a long way to go. I still have so much more to learn. I still need to believe in myself even more. And every time I consume more content, it allows me to grow my comfort zone a little bit more. And the funny thing is, all of these moments are little tiny incremental parts of your growth. I couldn't point you to one point in my past where I said, that was the moment that I changed. That was the moment that I had more confidence. But as I studied every day, I could look back 3 months, 6 months, a year and say, wow, I've really changed. I've really grown. I've really learned a lot. But in the daily, from today to yesterday, I'd say I didn't grow at all. And so sometimes on your journeys, you're trying to learn and get better. You may feel like the growth is really slow on a daily basis, but if you keep going, you keep investing, you keep learning, you keep seeking out mentors, you keep trying to get better and improve. Not every day will be amazing, but if you try every day to get better and learn, I can guarantee you that in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, when you look back of the person you've become compared to what you are right now, there'll be a big change. And that's because you continue to invest in yourself.
So I'm going to give you a 3-step process to how to create a customized program for you so that you can become world-class at the thing that you want to be world-class at. Step 1, decide what you want to be world-class at. You could be world-class at a lot of things with enough energy, effort, wisdom, pouring in to you, practice, repetition, you can be world-class at something. But what in your core, what is the thing that you need to be world-class at? What is the burning desire in you that you say, I want to be among the best in the world at what? Fill that in. What do you want to be world-class at? Number 2, immerse yourself in that environment. The fastest way to learn a language, the fastest way to learn Japanese is not from a textbook, it's not from going to classes, it's to go to Japan. You need to immerse yourself in the environment. Whatever the thing is that you want to be great at, the more you are around it, people who are doing it, people who are speaking it, people who are living it, the more it will rub off onto you and the faster it will rub off onto you. Now, it can be a physical environment, or it could also be from the content that you're consuming. I get it a lot from my own YouTube videos because I feel like I'm around Steve Jobs and Elon Musk and Oprah Winfrey every single day. And the more you immerse yourself in that environment, the more their mindset, the more their motivation, the more their confidence is going to stick with you to help you go be world-class at the thing that you want to be great at. And then step number 3 is practice every single day. You need to practice every single day. It's not enough just to be around it. You need to practice. You got to do. You want to be world-class at something, right? That requires daily dedication. The reason why I got better at making my content, my videos, is I've done 6,000 videos. 1,000 videos aren't even public on my channel. We've thrown away more videos than most people ever create on their channel. And it's not because I'm amazing. Go back. Like, I encourage you, go back and look at my first videos. I sucked. It was brutal. It's because I said I want to be great at this thing. And I surrounded myself with people who could help push me and I could learn from, and then I practice every single day. The reason why I pass people who I consider to be a lot better than me at this is because I put in more work. Because when people had a hard time finding time to make 1 video a week, I was doing 3 a day. And if you take that same approach, if you take that same mindset of I'm just going to outwork everybody around me, I'm going to outwork my competition, when they may have a hard time finding time to do that thing that they need to get better at once a week, and you're doing it 3 times a day, you will blow past people who are more naturally talented because you have put in the work to get good at your skill.
Rule number 5, the last one before our very special bonus clip, structure your life.
Most people never hit their goals because they don't structure their life towards actually accomplishing those goals. You can say that you want something. You can say that this is your ambition and your goal, but unless it's in your calendar, unless you start actually working towards it, you're never going to accomplish it. Dreams stay dreams because there is no momentum. Let's talk about how to get it. One of the common questions I get asked when I'm doing my live stream, when I'm doing my interviews, when I'm doing my tour, my stops, people almost always will ask me, how many hours sleep do you get? When you go to bed, when you get up, how much do you sleep every night? Right now, I'm sleeping 9 hours a day. I sleep 9 hours. I did a sleep study. I was sleeping around 8 and was still tired when I woke up. And so I went and did an overnight sleep study, and they told me, I'm looking for the hack. I'm like, hey, you're deficient in magnesium, so just take these and you can sleep 7 and be normal. He said, no, nothing wrong with you. You just need to sleep 9 hours a night. That's healthy for you. It's like, what? That's healthy? Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? Nobody sleeps 9 hours a night. It's like, yeah, between 6 and 10 is actually, that's the normal range. The whole 8 hours a night is a myth. So I felt bad, and I'm still trying to hack it. So I sleep 9 hours a night. I don't wake up to an alarm. And people assume that I'm only sleeping 3, 4, or 5 hours a night because of how productive I am during the day. This is it, right? You could sleep 12 hours a night and crush it in the other 12 hours. Most people default to thinking they need to wake up an hour early. Say, well, if I wake up at 5 a.m. or at 4 a.m., I'm gonna be more productive. If you are not productive for 16 hours a day, then adding an extra hour to that's not gonna make you that much more productive. The problem isn't what time you wake up, the problem is what you're doing with the hours that you're awake. And so as much as possible, what I try to do is make every second intentional. I'm not always able to achieve that, especially not every second, but I try to make everything intentional. I try to make where I'm spending time is intentional. I'm in the present, I'm not thinking about something else. I'm here with you guys making this video right now. All I think about is this video that I'm making for you right now. Where's Nina right now? I don't know. Where's my cell phone? Well, it's right here because I can see it. But where are my keys? I don't know. Where are my dogs? I don't know. What am I doing after this? I have no idea. I'm focused and I'm with you right now. Most people live in the past. Most people are thinking about what could have been. Most people are regretting the decisions that they made, and they're procrastinating because they're afraid of doing things, because they don't want to do things. All things that prevent you from actually doing. That's the biggest problem. You're a genius. You're the best in the world at something. You can go off and make amazing things. The problem is your time is not being used efficiently. It's not being used effectively either. You haven't structured your life to help you accomplish your goals. Look at your big goals. Look at your big goals. Like, what's the next big goal that you have for yourself? You may not have one. If you don't have one, then you got to figure out what your purpose is, because that's the greatest thing of all time, right? Get the book, Built to Serve. You'll figure it out. You'll be ignited. But your next big goal, now look at your calendar. Are you aligning what's in your calendar, your daily habits, towards you accomplishing your goals? And for most people, it's no. Or you have it listed, but you're not doing it because you look at it and you get afraid and you procrastinate on it. So trying to cut that down to almost zero. Even before making these videos, before making expressive videos, I have a couple minutes of procrastination. I go and make sure I get my water. I go and maybe have a keto bar, just pacing around a little bit because I'm nervous about making the videos, because I want them to be the best videos that I've ever made. It's always my intention. But too many people live in hours or days or months of procrastination instead of doing it. You get the results by doing it. It's the only way. You will never get the results by just thinking about it. You can be motivated, amazing. You can have the mindset, awesome. That's half the equation. The other half is doing. You have to actually just go out there and do. You need to structure your life to allow you to accomplish your goals. I'm going to give you a 3-step process that will help. Step number 1 is start with the mission and work backwards. So the mission is lifetime. The mission is lifetime, not what specifically you're going to be doing, but your purpose comes from your pain. We've talked about that a lot on this channel. I love helping entrepreneurs because I struggled so much as an entrepreneur. Whoever you used to be, where you struggled and felt the most worthless, you will love helping those people for the rest of your life. That will never get old. How you do it will change a lot. Right now I'm doing it through YouTube videos, I'm doing it through books, I'm doing it through my tours, all of that. But it's gonna change. In 10 years, it'll be different. Maybe YouTube's not around. Maybe people don't have paper books anymore. You know, there's gonna be lots of changes that come. But that mission, that purpose will never change. It will never change. And when you figure out what it is for you, it will never change as well. So start with your mission and then you start working backwards. Step number 2 is understand that your success is habits. Your success is habits. What you do on a regular basis is what you're going to accomplish. You can eat a chocolate bar and be on a diet and not get fat. But if you're eating a chocolate bar every day, you're gonna get fat. You're not on a diet anymore. Similarly, if you eat salad once a week, it's not enough, right? You are what you consistently do. Your success comes from doing habits. And entrepreneurs are typically great starters, but not great at being consistent. And that's the problem. Working your face off for a 48-hour stretch isn't gonna do anything for you. It's every single day working, even if it's only an hour a day. That dream that you have, that business that you wanted to start, that business that you want to take to the next level, it could be there. It could have been there already. It could have been there already. The problem is you've been sitting on that idea for 3 months, 6 months, 4 years without doing enough on it. Little tiny starts, it's not enough. Every day, I'm talking every single day, making progress towards you actually accomplishing that thing. You want that life? You have to do it every day. And step number 3 is no 10-year goals. Now, what was interesting in this video is Jordan first talks about having a 3-year goal for yourself, and then he said for himself, he can't plan for more than 6 months because his life is too chaotic and too much stuff going on. I think that's actually the sign of a healthy life. Like, there's no way you know where you're gonna be in 3 years. There's no way you're gonna know where you're gonna be in 10 years. That's crazy, but 3 years is crazy too. There's no way. I'm about to leave on my tour from January to April 2020, and I'm gonna come back a different person. In April, I'm gonna be a different person than when I left, when I'm about to leave, coming up now, right? So I don't know what I'm gonna be doing after that. I have no idea. I mean, it's still gonna be within the confines of my mission, right? I'm still gonna be doing work to help entrepreneurs. So maybe I come back and say, I don't wanna do YouTube anymore. That's it, I'm done. Enjoy these last videos, and I'm gonna move on and do something else, right? So I don't think you can have an accurate 3-year plan. Don't even try. People get stressed out about having the perfect 3-year plan. There's no way. Like, if you hate your 3-year plan, you're thinking small. The idea, like, think of who you were 3 years ago, right? Let alone 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Just take 3 years ago. Who you were 3 years ago. Could you accurately predict where you are right now? There's no way. Not if you're growing. Like Jordan said, he starts off saying 3-year plan and then goes down and says, well, I can only do 6 months. I think that should be normal. Like, I think 6 months should be the very end. 6 months should be the very upper limit if you're growing, if you're learning, if you're investing into yourself. But if you are a different person than you were 3 years ago, what makes you think with any degree of confidence that you're gonna be able to predict your life 3 years out? There's no way. You can't. So don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Don't sit there and have this plan for the next 3 years. You're not gonna hit that plan. That's not your goal. Your goal is to move closer to your mission. And you have to be flexible enough to take the opportunities as they come. I was talking to Jeremy, who's working with me on my YouTube business and consulting and coaching people to help them grow. And he was asking me about New Year's resolutions. Like, I don't do New Year's resolutions. You're crazy. You think you know where you're gonna be next year? There's no way. First off, New Year's resolutions I hate, because if it's December 22nd and you're setting a New Year's resolution, I think you suck. You're teaching yourself that you suck. You don't suck as a human. The mindset that you're telling yourself is that you suck. Whenever you say, I have a goal that's really important to me, but I'm gonna start it in a week, or I'm gonna start it on Monday, or I'm gonna start it when you've already lost. The mind game here is you suck. That's what you're telling yourself. I suck. The only way through is I'm gonna start today. You wanna start 2020 or next year and have perfect health? Great, you start today. Get on the floor, do 10 push-ups, do whatever max you can do. Eat a salad, like you start today. Build momentum, you're missing momentum. So he asked me, what's my 2020 resolution? I don't have it, dude. Don't think that way. If I even had an idea for what I was gonna do, I would be doing it right now. Right now. Right now. But then on top of that, like, look at your life. Look at where you were last year. Look at where you were at the start of this year, right? 2019. Where were you at the start of 2019? You were at a grocery store. And then I called you when I was on the road in Texas and said, hey, do you want to start a YouTube consulting business together? And I'll teach you everything I know. You couldn't predict that. You could have had this perfect plan for how you're gonna move up and become a manager at this grocery store, right? Instead, now he's running his own business and he's got a 6-figure business inside of 6 months from not knowing anything about it because of mentorship and training and connections and resources and ideas. And he's getting great results for his clients, right? If you're growing and learning and exposing yourself to new opportunities, you'll be it's like you're shedding your skin and you're a new person every 6 months at the very max. So I agree with Jordan that 6 months should be the max, and that 3 years, don't even try. Don't even worry about it, let alone 5 years, let alone 10 years. Go do you. You're growing, you're learning, you're amazing. Stop trying to plan for where you're gonna be in 10 years. Make it happen today.
Staying consistent on your morning routine is the difference between you having a good life and a great life. The life that you're living right now, which is good. Listen, you have a good life right now. If you're watching this, you have internet, you have food, you know, you have a place to sleep tonight. You have a pretty good life. You have a pretty good life, but it's not a great life. You know you're capable of more. You know you want to do more. You know that where you are right now is not where you want to be. That imagine a year, 2 years, 5 years. Imagine if you were still in the same spot in 5 years. Imagine your life, your health, your relationships, your finances, the impact you're having, your routine, your daily, like what you're doing on a regular, and nothing has changed in 5 years. It'd still be a good life, but it's not a great life, right? It's not a great life. This is the struggle, that you know you're capable of so much more. If you didn't know you're capable of more, ignorance is bliss. You just keep living your life. But when you know you're capable of more, this is the curse of the achievers. Like, you know you're capable of so much more. No matter how much people look at you and say, hey, wow, you're doing so well, you're doing so much. That's why you're watching these videos. You are the most ambitious person that you know. People look to you for guidance and wisdom, advice and support and encouragement and hope and inspiration. Like, you're the one filling other people up. You're the one inspiring other people to do better, to be more, to go after their dreams. That's you, but who's doing that for you? You know you're capable of so much more. And so how do you get it? How do you do the work? Well, it's a daily thing. This is part of the challenge. It's a daily thing. It gets boring. It gets boring to do the exact same thing every day, to stay consistent on what you said you were going to do. And we start to doubt ourselves. You have days where you're motivated, inspired, ready to take on the world, feeling amazing. and other days where you don't feel so good and you wake up feeling like, who am I? I can't do this. What I said I was gonna do that. You look at your goals like, I'm gonna do that. There's no way I'm gonna do that. Me? I'm gonna stay in bed. It's the thing achievers don't talk about, is there's a lot of days when you just don't feel like you're worthy of it. You don't believe in yourself. You don't think that you can do it. And it's just that consistency that prevents you from doing the thing. Because you'll have the days when you're on fire, and then entire days, maybe weeks sometimes, where you're just not doing anything. And so how do you keep that momentum? How do you keep that consistency? It starts with a morning routine. And the goal of a morning routine is to help you feel motivated, bold, courageous, ready to take on the day. That's what the goal of a morning routine is. Everybody's got a morning routine. If you're watching this, you got a morning routine. Everybody doesn't have a morning routine. Most people actually wake up like an accident, right? Most people wake up and they fall into their day and they look at their phone and it's other people's emergencies and other people's demands for your time. That's most people's day. But for you, if you're watching this, you're an achiever and you have some kind of morning routine. But most people's morning routine are also broken because you're not doing it consistently enough, or you're not doing it with enough intent. So if you ask, what's the goal of a morning routine? The goal of a morning routine is to get you bold and prepped and ready for the day. Let me ask you this. If you were to, for the next year of your life, right? 365 days, the next year of your life, you're gonna wake up and do something that would make you feel bold, powerful, courageous, motivated. Not asking you to wake up feeling bold, powerful, courageous, motivated, but to wake up tired, however you wake up. I woke up tired today. You wake up and then you do something that will help you feel bold, powerful, motivated, courageous, and ready to take on the day. If you woke up and did that for the next 365, how much does your life change? How much does the next year change? How much does the impact that you're making, does the actual momentum that you're taking towards your goals, how much does that change if in the next year you actually did that? It should be tremendously, it should be dramatically, because no matter how much you do in your morning routine, one, you're probably not super consistent on it, and two, you're not getting the feeling even if you are. That's what needs to change. I was in New Mexico and I was doing, on Super Bowl Sunday, my workshop. And it was the smallest group on our tour. And we were talking about morning routines. And there was a woman there and I asked her, what's the most important part of your morning routine? And she said, prayer. I said, so you pray, how often do you pray? Every day, every day, every day. She prays, perfect. How often do you feel the prayer? How often do you feel the connection? And how often are you just saying the words? And she said, like half the time. Great. Other people might look to her and say, well, look, you do it every day. Even for herself, she might look at herself and say, great, I did it every day. As achievers, we like to check the box, right? You like to check the box, say, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it. I prayed, I watched the video, I read the book, I brushed my teeth, whatever. You have your checklist and you did it, right? And you feel great that you did it. But if you don't get the feeling of courageousness and you just check the box, it doesn't count. So watching a video might be part of your morning routine. Great, if it's mine, I'm honored to be a part of your journey. If it's somebody else's, amazing, do that too. But if you know that watching a video is the thing that helps make you feel alive, bold, confident, you know that there are some days that watching a video actually makes you feel that way, and other days where it doesn't. And you know that watching the same video over and over and over and over every day will lose its impact super quick, right? Day one, you're motivated. Day two, already you've lost like 80% of the motivation that you got from day one. Day three, it's basically over. You run it for a month, forget it. Like you've already memorized the words, that the words don't mean anything to you anymore. So you have to have some variety. And if you're watching a video while you're doing something else, this is the achiever's curse. You're watching a video while you're brushing your teeth, while you're taking the dogs out, while you're cleaning the sink, while you're making the bed. You're distracted, you're doing something else, you're trying to multitask, right? Here's what happens to the achievers. You still get to check the box to say that you watched the video. But because you weren't present for the video, guess what happens? There was no retention. There was no feeling. You don't feel ready to take on the day. You don't feel the boldness, the courageousness, And therefore you don't go and have a great day, even though you checked off everything on your morning routine. That's what makes a difference. So if you get to the end of your morning routine and you don't feel bold, powerful, courageous, ready to go for the day, there's one of two things that you have to do. One is you audit your morning routine. You say, what's missing? You know, like, does this still work for you anymore? What's missing? Do I need to add something in? Do I need to add an espresso video in during the morning? Do I need to add reading? Do I need to add working out? Do I need to add writing my goals down? Like, what do you need to do to add and tweak and experiment and see if it makes you feel better? Or two, maybe you just need to do the routine again, but with more intention. Maybe you did the whole routine while you were distracted. Maybe you did the whole routine while you're thinking of something else. So you don't get the feeling. There's nothing wrong with the routine. The routine is great. The routine is perfect for you. But if you don't show up with intention, if you don't show up and be focused on it, you're not going to get the feeling. You could sit there and be in the chair. You know, think about going to classes, going to school. You could sit there and be in the chair. It doesn't mean that you're going to learn. You could sit there and watch a video, but if you're brushing your teeth and doing 8 other things, you're not going to get the feeling. This is the loving push forward that I hope you accept. Because everybody else is going to look at you and see how much you're doing and how perfect you are and how much momentum you have and how many things you're doing, and they look up to you in awe, and you're an inspiration to them. And you should be, because you are doing amazing things. And at the same time, you know it's nothing compared to what you could do. But the difference between where you are right now and where you want to go is actually not that big. The difference is just minor tweaks between where you are right now and where you want to go. For most of you, it's just minor tweaks. This is one of those minor tweaks. That if you could just stay consistent on having a morning routine, and then inside of that consistency, doing the thing that makes you feel bold, powerful, unstoppable, alive, ready to start the day, not expecting to be amazing when you wake up, but then doing the thing that brings that out of you every single day, your life will change.
Because you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Most people start and don't finish. Most people never actually follow through. Most people say they want something, but they don't ever do the work to actually get it. But you're different. You are special. Believe Nation, you made it here all the way to the end, and I love you. So as a special celebration, if you put a hashtag believe down in the comments below on this video, I will showcase you and celebrate you somewhere on the screen in a future video, because you are awesome.
If you want to know the most important habits that you need to develop in life, check out the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy. Continue to believe. I will see you there.
Get into the habit of collecting good people. I think when you're finding friends, it's especially hard as an adult. You know, when you're in school, when you're a kid,